Welcome back, everyone, to another King of Prussia video. Today, it's not actually an after-action report. We are breaking format, and instead, we're going to be ranking the Imperial Diplomacy players ahead of the Optimate Cup. By the way, quick note, the Optimate Cup is named the Optimate Cup because we're starting on the Ides of March, March 15th, the day Caesar was assassinated, and because the winner of the last game, Complete Canadian, is not playing this time. So he is Caesar. Caesar is dead. Anyways, with that aside, I'm joined by Salt,
Hello, hello.
and yeah, like I said, we're gonna rank Imperial Diplomacy's powers. We'll go alphabetically. We might adjust as time goes on. I know other people have made rankings of these before, but I have been busy and have not really done anything more than a cursory glance at some of them. And at others, I haven't even, a lot of them I haven't even looked at. I'm not sure how extensively you've looked at things, Salt, but
Um, I'm going mostly off of what I know from like previous games, but I also do have like the new map pulled up, so we'll just look at it as we go along.
all right. Well, without further ado, there is a power that starts with the letter A. It's Abyssinia.
You want to go first, or do you want me to start?
Can you start?
Yeah. I think Abby's relatively solid. Maybe not as strong as most regionals, mostly because they don't have a lot of options to start with. They only have the three neighbors, Ottomans, Ajuran, and Congo. You could kind of argue Dutch could maybe be a neighbor, but in practice, not really. That being said, I don't think they're like D tier or anything. 'Cause their neutral options are fairly good, and the new
Mhm.
map does buff them. They're able to go to Arabia um, easier than they were able to before. I think like their neutral access is quite good. You get Darfur, Azande, Hawara, and Aden off the bat, and then you're kind of easily able to go into like Arabia from there. If you're working with the Ottomans, you might build something there. If you're going against the Ottomans and Ottomans, about 50% of the time they tend to get a coalition after them, and Abbey can profit off that pretty well. Other than that, you have like the Congo Ajuran triangle. Generally, like a skill player can like make sure they're not the odd one out. And Abyssinia has decent options against both. At the end of year one, they have a decent setup against Congo. They have good options since Azron. It's kind of a bit hard to get them out of the box. I don't think I want to rank them too high, but I think a good player can do pretty well with them. I'd say like it's B or C tier, maybe.
We'll start at B, maybe lower. I'm thinking lower end of B because I think the dynamism of the position is rather low compared to most other positions in Imperial diplomacy, and I kind of like to have options.
Yeah, that's fair. Their options, they don't have a ton of them, but I think they don't have like a bad option either.
Mhm. All right. Well, on that note, Ajuran. Let's see. We'll do my tabs correctly. Yeah, I think
I'm
Ajuran. I don't know. Ajuran's in is weird to me. Um, Jack of all trades, master of none is how I would characterize it. You can really get going decently with armies or fleets in either direction, right? You can get down here. You can get a foothold in Arabia. You can get Warsaw and Gali. You get Seychelles typically. I played Ajuran not too long ago. I played this version of Ajuran, and I found the land power especially kind of lacking. Um, and that unless you can get Portugal and France to kind of play to your tune, that it's kind of hard to expand properly, at least. So I don't know if you have separate
Yeah.
opinions, but
I'm playing Ajuran now on the last version of the map, and it is only year two, so I can't. Um, it's an ongoing game, so I can't go too far into it. It's year two, so I haven't experienced like a lot of this position yet. Um, I do think most players tend to go in on like 80% fleets on this power or something close to that. That like they, from what I've noticed, they like tend to neglect the land front a lot. And I think Azeron, you have lots of options. Like Indian Ocean can be a good late game option, but I think it's really dangerous to push out into that area before Azeron's really ready for it. And a lot of new players tend to go all in on fleets and pushing that area before Azeron can really make any gains there. Like I, the biggest part is probably Portugal. If you have a strong Portugal, then Azeron can basically just never win because like Portugal's in the south, they're also in your Arabia position, which Azeron always has. And if you want to go into Maldives or that area, then you're going to find Portugal there too. And with a strong Portugal, it's going to be really difficult to break those spots and expand there. I think the
Even
Arabia, like,
I
yeah,
was gonna say, even a weak Portugal can really inhibit your growth. When I played Azeron, I had a Portugal just sit a fleet here, and that is really not fun as Azeron.
yeah, like it's just what are you going to do about it, you know?
Nothing. Well, I took India, but but otherwise nothing.
Yeah, like a war with Portugal, if you can't lock down Portugal's fleets, then it's just so hard to make progress because Portugal just slip in like one rogue fleet behind your lines, and you have to just like move everything back to cover it. Mavra is also like a really painful dot to hold, especially because Ajuran is always taking that with a fleet. Like you could convoy up, but usually you're missing out on a double by doing that. And Ajuran is like one of the only 5 dot powers that actually can reasonably get that double. So you usually don't want to convoy up. That leaves it really exposed because almonds are usually be sitting with a army in Riyadh. So you didn't have this fleet in Mara that like can't move at all. So it's just really kind of tough to figure out. And Abyssinia also got buffed in this map, and the attack Azeron has against them has also gotten significantly, maybe not significantly, but it has gotten worse. Because you used to be able
Mm,
to send like go to Mara and then send it into Gulf of Tajora, and you can't do that anymore. So
yeah.
it's
I mean, to be fair,
a bit harder.
I never liked the line of attack that Azeron has on Abyssinia in a default position, which in my opinion, default position is this is the border because
You shouldn't see my Azeron game.
your army, yeah, like, well, yeah, as Azeron, this having this dot's very nice is the truth.
Yeah.
But like if you don't have Orsangali, this attack is very hard to launch without it, so you definitely want to have that. But a smart Abyssinia is going to tell you, like, no, if you go for Orsangali, I'm going to bounce you. You're not getting that center under any circumstances.
I think Abyssinia should let them have it because like Abyssinia can get the double regardless, and without
Yes, but
worse than Gully, Azeron can't. So you're just immediately start a fight there
no,
over that dot.
you can do this. You do
Double without
let's
it.
you get down. Yeah, well, you technically can. There's an option to double. You just have to do this.
Yeah,
Here,
you can't take both
here.
Burundi and Zanzibar because Portugal's going to contest one of those almost every time.
Try to get them to do a convoy. You can be
Nobody
creative,
convoys there.
but
Nobody
if
convoys to Sakalapa year one.
I bet Luxembourg, he's a terrorist.
Well, if you get Luxon on Portugal, then maybe you can. But I would argue with Luxon on Portugal, Ajman's going to have a very bad time.
I don't know. I still as Abyssinia, you want Morsangali to be yours. Because without this dot, Azeron doesn't have a stab into Abyssinia. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. As Ajman would probably just stab regardless if Abyssinia tried to deny me the double. Because like Abyssinia having the army there is like almost as bad for
well, these days you put the fleet there
Hezron
actually,
as the reverse.
right? You do this and you put the fleet there.
Yeah, you could probably make that work.
Anyways, we
Yeah, I
digress.
don't know. I think we have,
I
yeah, it's going too
it,
far.
a bunch of ideas to make Azeron even worse than it already is. I like them in C tier personally, although I think they're
I would not
mar-
put them lower than
I think they're better than
Abyssinia
Abyssinia,
here.
honestly.
I think either high B or like low A. I can honestly see A tier for them. I quite
Really?
like how they look and the flexibility they have. Like as long as Portugal isn't like a monster, then Azure has lots of like room to play.
All right. Well, I guess we're being. Oh, that's the wrong tab. This, well, listen. I like sports. Sports, good. We'll be generous today, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Let's see. Athabasca.
These
So
next two are new ones.
new Athabasca. Um, I think this is either going to be a B or an A tier power going forward. It does depend on how the dynamics between Shoshone, Inuit, and Athabasca, shake out. Obviously, but you have good lines towards Chilcotin. You can pretty easily double with some line like this. You have leverage over Inuit wanting to get down. Excuse me, to AU. What is this? EU. It's Chi,
Hmm.
and you can send Sutina. Typically, I imagine typically it'll go up here to Satu. But if you're a good negotiator with Uchishoni, maybe you can get a Assiniboine, which lets you set up a pretty good stab on them. Um, the only concern, obviously, is if Inuit and Uchishoni work together, then you have a pretty bad time of things. But you have a better time of things in this map than you do previously. Athabasca has actually a fighting chance to not get insta-killed by these two powers, and you can resist for a little bit at least, because you still get, let's see, you still get +2 at least when you run these move sets, because the way to be kicked out of Shilkotin, they have to jump up like this, but then you can retreat to Kwakiatl,
Yeah.
and so Athabasca has some options, and being crushed immediately is no longer a thing, um, which is definitely an improvement for the power, right? So I just
Yeah.
you can build fleets north too, which I think is very important, because previously what would happen is if and this is the other thing, when Athabasca used to work with Uchishone, the ceiling of that alliance was permanently limited by the fact that killing Inuit was extremely hard. I played as Inuit and I subbed in as Inuit in a game. Salt, you were in as well, but like
Yeah.
we both did poorly. But I subbed in
We can
as
talk about that
Inuit
game.
and got attacked by a pre-existing Athabasca Uchishone alliance, and they did not manage to like even fully take Alaska in 3 years of fighting me, because there was never any pressure on Arctic Ocean. So you can't um you can't dismantle Inuit without pressuring Arctic Ocean, and Athabasca just never was able to do it before. With this new core, even just being able to build a fleet and put it up in this direction is huge. To give the power some fight, and so I think it's at
Yeah.
least B tier now.
I like B tier. I think Athabasca is significantly better now that they can build fleets in North. Inuit also crucially doesn't have the fleeting in Quacktack anymore, or like what
Yes,
used to be that little like small island. Like they don't have the dot there that they can go to,
it's down here.
which was always just like a sword over Athabasca's head. It's just no longer that threat's no longer there. So it's like it's easier to cooperate with that power if you want. It's also easier for Athens just to attack if they want to. The one thing that would stop me from getting Athabasca higher would be like France actually has like a better attack on them. Like if France would go to I don't know what the one dot is for
Like
Detroit.
this,
Um,
and
yeah,
then
like
you
they can sort
spur.
something to Ojibwe, and there's not really anything Athabasca can do about that without denying themselves the double. Um,
Yes.
France does have to give up Seneca for that, which probably isn't going to happen most games. So I don't think it's that big of a threat of Athabasca basis, but the fact that it's possible could lead to some earlier fighting than Athabasca would like.
Mhm.
But anyways, I balance within a Nishnabek, like turn one, might solve the issue. I don't know. I still think Athabasca is good. I think I want to put them. I put them like mid B tier for probably.
Okay. Yeah, I think better than Abyssinia, surely.
I would say worse actually. I think Abyssinia
Really?
is not that bad.
I have played Abyssinia,
Maybe am I
and I found
crazy?
it no, Abyssinia is painful because you don't have because you at any point Ottomans can just drop a fleet in here and screw you. That's we didn't discuss that, but at any point Ottomans
Yeah,
just
we can
drop a
just
fleet into
also
the
just
sea and
drop a fleet there and screw them.
Yeah, but like it's more of a problem for you because Ottomans have spare builds and spare resources to use, and you do not.
It depends on like how many Ottomans want. I've seen plenty of Ottomans just like not want to fight them at all and like give Abyssinia free reign. I don't know.
I like
Maybe
this
I'm
Athapasca
crazy.
much more than I would play this Athapasca like 10 times as often as Abyssinia. I just think it's better.
All right, we can
Yeah,
keep it where it is.
yeah. All right, Austria. Um, probably
Also
just
reworked.
probably just C tier.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
do
the
we have
pre-course
to?
help a lot, but the Poland changes hurt a lot too. Um, the second army in Gdansk, like you had a standard Poland opening that like the fleet in Gdansk would go wherever. I think the army goes to like Berlin, what used to be Fort Brandenburg, goes there. Warsaw backfills and you pick up Königsberg and fall or whatever. Um, Now, like, what's stopping Poland from just dropping Krakow into Silesia turn one?
Something like this, you think?
No, 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 not even that. Like, you send Gdansk to Berlin still. You send Warsaw to Königsberg, I guess. But then where does Krakow go?
Well,
Like, you have no reason to not
either
send
y
it
either
to.
you're holding, you're going to Ruthenia maybe, or you're going up. The only scenario in which Krakow never moves. Wait, never.
I
Krakow.
honestly I
Okay,
don't see
the
much of an
only
argument against it because you're
the
either doing something that like makes
the
Austria mad, or you're doing something that just like feels terrible, like just
the only
doing
way
nothing with it.
the only way you're moving Silesia is if you're moving Ruthenia, right? So how I might do it if I play Poland is you run this attack into Pressburg. You get Austria to move out of the way, so you get in to Pressburg and fall. Then what you want to do is let me think. You're gonna want to put this army in Berlin, and you just put Wilno up towards Riga, and you pocket Königsberg, basically.
I think what Austria has to do now is just like turn one bounce Silesia, which like isn't terrible because like Vienna can still pick up a build, but it does kind of limit Austria's options a lot. Which again isn't terrible. Like Austria is never not going to get their plus four unless like split bounces or if you go for split and Ottomans choose to like bounce you out. But it does kind of limit things 'cause, like Trieste. Because if you're going to bounce Silesia, then Pressburg has to backfill Trieste. And, or no, like, yeah, it has to be like that. Trieste has to backfill Trieste. So Trieste either has to go to Venice or you have to negotiate it to where you get into split in spring, which Ottomans usually aren't going to agree to. So like it makes it to where you kind of still get your plus four, but you have to get Rome. They get that plus four, which is not guaranteed.
Maybe.
I mean, usually Spain will let Austria have Rome, so I don't
I
know.
still think the power of cooperating as Poland with Austria is still quite powerful. You have some decent lines against the Ottomans, for example. With this new Baltic setup, I think it's actually easier for Russia and Poland to cooperate in some sense because Russia can get a better attack on Sweden and get more out of it
Yeah,
than before. And Russia has more reason to fight with Sweden, with Trondheim starting as Swedish, so Sweden can kind of be annoying up here.
yeah. I just think it's dangerous. Like the pre-course help a lot in Austria's like long-term growth. I was like really slowing them down before, so I like those changes. But also the threat of Poland is higher. Like, I can see
Yes.
Poland just deciding to attack a lot more often than they usually would,
Yeah,
and
Poland
like certain
if
players.
if Poland is willing to delay the growth of like the Caribbean colony, for example, then what you could open with as Poland is you can open spring. I don't think I'm playing Poland in the Optimate Cup, and I wouldn't do this if I was in that game. But you could open spring like this, and then in fall you run this army here supported by Silesia, and you move Berlin to Saxony and Gdansk to Berlin, right?
Well, the thing is, you don't even have to like do that to like make Austria's life like hell. Like what you could do, just like you drop the army into Silesia, and nothing else. And then Austria is like forced to make this choice. Do I cover a dot or do I just go for my bills and hope Poland doesn't try draw me? And you
No,
get a
that's no,
terrorist
that's a
playing.
worthless move. That's a worthless move from Poland because even if you
If
do,
Austria
yeah,
covers cores, then it's not
well, yeah,
worthless at
if
all.
well, if Austria covers cores, but Austria won't. If it's an unsupported attack, Austria won't cover cores because even if say Poland takes Pressburg, but there's no support behind it. So the next season Austria builds Vienna and Trieste armies and kicks you out. And then sure, Austria's in a much worse position, but Poland hasn't gained anything from it. So there's no reason for Poland to fly that off, right?
It just puts
Anyways,
Austria in a terrible spot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I keep
It's
doing
a
this.
gamble.
Keep pulling up the sports, man. Austria is C
We can
tier.
turn this into a sports themed video. You know.
I'm a Pats fan. I think if I made a video about how good the Patriots are, Lolstats would love it, but there are some people who are like Jets fans who would assassinate me, man.
Well, we can see how many people who watch us are fans of the Jets. You know, comment if you like the
Comment if you're a
Jets, and we'll
Jets fan so
see.
I can ban you from watching my videos. No, your life is miserable enough as is. I don't have to do that to you.
Wow.
Um, so Imara, I think is like C or D. I played it in what was it? B2B. We just did an after action report on that. And the
Yep.
problem is that it's very, very, very difficult to ever get south of like here. You have to really set it up and play. And if you don't have if these two are both uncooperative, or even if they're like just mildly untrustworthy, you have a very, very hard time ever getting south, which is a huge limitation. And your northern expansion is governed by how well you're able to play Spain and Netherlands off each other, which is an enormous gamble. And even if you do manage to play them off each other well, Portugal often has an army right here, and they will influence things to delay you as well. So I think at the
Yeah.
most, it's a C tier power.
South America just feels like a very painful continent to play in. All two times I've played there.
Mm,
I don't have the time experience of the continent, but just feels miserable to me.
yeah, I'm not sure there's much more. I think Aymara earns C tier of the regionals in the region because at least you have a nice core. It's
I want to
hard,
put them higher. Yeah.
but there's not much to say about Aymara. I talked about it a lot in our previous video. You have one good opening. I think the one good opening is to go crush Mapuche, try to get Guarani in on it. If you do that, then the world is your oyster, my friend. But
Yeah.
as my video showed, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. I mean, just get Garani, do whatever you want, and then kill them. How hard could that be, right?
Exactly. Anyways, I
Mind
Ayutthaya.
control going.
Onto a power with
I'll
more hope.
put Volstats put Ayutthaya as like the number one power in the entire game. I think he's crazy.
It's
Um,
definitely not the number one power in the entire game. I think that the expansion is too slow, it's too plotting, there are too many conflicts for it to be the best power in the game. But it is quite good. Um,
it's solid. Yeah, I'm a little bit burned because I played them at Carnage and that game was awful for me. But like I do think that they're pretty
I
good.
I do think
They're
Ayutthaya requires more time, and so in Blitz, I think it just suffers occasionally in those type
yeah,
of
like
formats.
even then we're like I was having like Ming and Meagle like constantly flip on me turn after turn. My position there never cracked. Like I was still able to defend my core area every turn, and I like wasn't even like it was annoying to do, but it wasn't hard if that makes sense. Like I
Mhm.
was still able to stop them from ever getting like the edge that they needed to like actually kill me. And like in the South, like I was kind of fine with Dutch too, but like I was able to like hold them off a bit. So it's very you can defend quite well with them. Um, expanding depends on a lot of factors that aren't always in your control, though.
Yes, but the I think the potential of expansion is so great that I wanna put the power in A tier at least. It's quite good.
Yeah, I could agree. I could agree with that. I think it's
Like,
worth it.
it's without getting too deep into the weeds, I think better than Acheron as well for what it's worth.
Yeah,
Acheron's
I
low
think
A
so
at
too.
best, but I mean, it's long story short, there are some good expansion paths. The addition of Odong gives you some pretty good options with regards to getting south and east. You have the option to play Moogles and Ming off each other. If you play Moogles and Ming off each other, then it's like an S tier power. Um, if these
Yeah,
2
plus it's Ming, so Ming's just gonna die.
if these 2 are allied, then you have kind of a bad time, I think, depending on what Portugal does, but, like, I think Ming has some sort of, like, I don't know, there's some line here where Ming can have a good time against Ayutthaya, but it's kinda hard to find, and it requires Mughals to be cooperative, so yada, yada, yada. We'll talk about Ming later. Um,
It's a Ming game.
Ayutthaya,
It's
yeah,
not gonna go well.
Ayutthaya can typically pocket dots, in year 1, which helps, right?
You pocket
Depending
like Pegu if you get into Andaman, but Andaman's
you can
like
pocket Pegu,
usually
you can
Meeples don't
pocket
go there.
Odong, you can't pocket Dongqin, you have to be here in year 1 if you want it, but if you go there, you're kinda
Yeah,
signaling fight with Ming, so do you really want that dot? I mean, maybe you do, maybe you don't think Ming's very powerful at all, you still attack them for it, but you might
like
be
usually
better
what Ming tries to do is like Portugal like moves from Hainan to Donkin and fall. Like that's how you prevent Ayutthaya from getting up there. Like
yeah,
I don't know, maybe it's worth it.
I don't know,
It
there's
happens.
either way, it's a pretty good power, we don't have any complaints, except that it's
Yeah,
maybe a bit too powerful.
too defensible, I'd say.
Alright, England. Um,
Immediate S tier
England
has to be.
was definitely solidly S tier on the new map, the our last map. The only things are, how does this change England? Does New Sweden being more incentivized to go west? And how does the Athabasca change impact England, right?
Yeah, I went to Sweden first. I think it's definitely a nerf to Britain. I don't think it's quite enough to knock them out of S tier. Cause like Iceland, yeah, like, in year two, like Sweden's gonna be in a that dot. You have the option of going to like Iceland Basin or Greenland Sea. And there's an argument made to go Greenland itself. I think like most Swedes are gonna play either of those two moves.
Hmm.
So it's just like which one is Sweden gonna play, right? I I can see Iceland Basin like able to do like a North Sea move as well and kind of do it that way. Um, how likely that is, I can't say. I don't know how many Swedes are going to be willing to play that.
It's a lot. It's a big
It's
gamble.
yeah, but like so is Spitsbergen because you're not going to get Spitsbergen with like the one fleet there. Like if like Russia's going to end up with a fleet in Spitsbergen, it's like you might just have like Iceland and Spitsbergen just bounce in spring year one. Like I can see that happening a lot of times actually.
Hmm. Yeah.
And like you do move to Iceland Basin, like Spitsbergen goes to Greenland Sea, you pretty much have to move that fleet back or have a different fleet cover the dots. It's just kind of it's a little bit painful to play. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but I don't know how much. I don't know if it's enough to like make change England's play significantly.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a decent analysis. North America is kind of obscure with these changes. It's hard to tell how it impacts England. I think it makes England It makes France marginally worse, and England is really a coin flip. It depends on whether it makes the EF more likely, making India more likely to attack England, or if it makes India more likely to attack Athabasca, which leads England to have a more free hand against, like France. Um,
Yeah. Mm.
Either way, I think it's kind of a moot
It,
point. And S tier,
yeah, I mean, if the EF happens, then England just wins.
yes. And that brings us to the F, France. Um,
I would
so
say
yeah, France is a
hmm,
complicated power.
A tier, but not S.
It's like low A, I think. So this Athabasca thing feels like a nerf, because it is, but you
Yeah.
still have a decent Caribbean position that's really underestimated a lot of the time. Africa, you can manage with some careful sleight of hand. This South Africa position is the one that I have the least confidence in, honestly, but it's still okay. You just have to jump around properly. Make sure you get Mpondo.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I kind of hate France's positions. Everything except Europe, I don't really love. I've seen a lot of players do really well as France, so I can't put them lower than A. But like, if I was just going off of like my gut feeling, I would probably put France at like B tier, maybe.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
A tier.
yeah, yeah, definitely A tier. But I just hate France. Can't do
I can do it.
it. Yeah.
Yep. Not too the analysis on France is not too in depth because there are just so many options you can do. In Europe, you generally end up fighting Austria, but that's not guaranteed, and it's especially not guaranteed with this new Kulm dot, which kind of maybe you get a little bit north. You see if you can't just crunch the Netherlands and take this whole line right here. You have some line on
Yeah,
Spain and some you have some line on Spain eventually, but not in year 1, year 2. In North America, if you can have Athabasca work with you, you actually have some very good chances these days. Just say, like for example, if you jump this army up here and you jump Fort Detroit West, you could play some line where you go Ville Marie to Algonquin and then you go up and
you
you
just have
take
to like always watch out
AUSG.
for Britain. Like, do I ally with the Britain here? And if I do, how long can I manage to keep that alliance going before England eventually has to attack me? It's like the
Yes.
age-old France dilemma. It's just really hard to make work.
I think
Like some France pieces have managed.
you generally want FN, but I don't think you want to start it till year 2. I think you want to work. I think in the new patch you want to work. Probably you prefer to work with Athabasca because you can run a line like this. I'll just draw it out real quick. You run the army to Papinachois, you run Quebec, St. Lawrence, Port Royal, Cabo Strait, and then what you want to do is put Ville Marie to Seneca, Fort Detroit here, and then in fall you want to be supported there to AUSG from Papinachois, and then move these fleets like this, and you can get this double while still having the good France position traditionally. And then in year 2, you have options. Like if you're in the EF, for example, then you can abandon Athabasca immediately. You can build a bunch of armies and move your armies around like this, and this, like up and around. Maybe not that one, but like you get this really strong wave of armies moving west. Um,
Yeah,
and Inuit can't really do much about like if Inuit retreats to Atimaca, whatever, Atikamequa, then they don't have any strategic flexibility. So I don't think they'll do that. Maybe they disband the retreat, build a fleet, work with you. Hard to say, but I think the position in North America, in some cases, will be a debuff because of stronger at the Pasca, but I think might actually be a buff.
eh, I don't know. I'd say neutral. I think like it can go either direction. I just
Yeah.
hate this. I just hate this North American position for France a lot, to be honest. It
Oh
just feels
well.
like there's no good option.
Well, on that note, Guarani
Garani,
D
yeah, D tier.
D. It's just there's no flexibility. I I'm
Yeah,
you just
Garani
can't
can only do
play.
one thing, and it doesn't even do that one thing that well.
Your options at Scorvani is hope Aymara wants to run the Huarpe Crusher to go along with it, to do it to Guarani, or not Guarani, do it to Mapuche, and then make sure Mapuche knows that Aymara was the one who proposed the Crusher and that they
Mhm.
should focus on fighting Aymara because it's Aymara's fault. I don't
Yeah,
see any
and
other way to play the Guarani position.
yeah, I know it's not this like line with Portugal, but it's so stalematy that Garani just hardly ever gets to expand north. It's just super painful for them.
And Portugal can overbuild and kill you.
Yeah,
And so can Mapuche because
North
Mapuche can get
America
Australia.
is miserable.
Miserable. Yeah, so we're not gonna talk about it too long because I don't want to. I want to talk about
Yep.
player powers that I could play and not want to kill myself. So
Yeah.
Inuit.
And you is definitely one of those.
I think Inuit's about a B tier power right now. I mean, Asia's okay. You get Evenki, you get Koryaks, and then you have options. Um, it depends on whether you want to work with Qing or against them. If you want to work with them, then you can stack armies west to take Yakutsk and fleets south to fight Togu, typically. If you work against them, then you stack armies and fleets west to get about there, and then you
Yeah, I
get
just gotta make sure that Tokugawa doesn't get too powerful because you're always Tokugawa's like not number one target, but you're always Tokugawa's number two
yeah,
target
Tokugawa
in this
always wants
area.
Eniwa dead, so you have to keep that in mind when working with them. That at the first moment Toku can, they will try to kill you. So be careful.
Yeah,
But otherwise, Asia's pretty good position.
I think they're
Um,
in a decent spot. Yeah,
North America is more powerful, but also less powerful. I mean, there are more centers, but Athabasca actually
the
gets to play the
Alutsuki Core
game.
helps a lot too.
Yeah, this being a thing is nice. You kind of want to grab it
Um,
right away, and then I think you do like this, and you see,
yeah, a gnome army gives you a lot of chances to like make sure Athabasca can't get too easy of an attack off on you. So you have some lines there. You could get like a really annoying Ute that goes for aloots, but with all the new changes, I don't think Ute is going to do that a whole lot.
mhm.
So like the diplomatic relationship should be affected too much in that area. And then the East is like changed significantly. It's a little bit worse, and I don't think anyone's in like a bad spot either. Like you don't have the free dot, the island dot it did have. Kind of need Atlas's permission to like take that one dot in the south now. I guess like Francis too. But even if you miss out on it, I don't think anyone's in a terrible spot.
Yeah, I think it's a good summary. Inuit is still okay. Probably B tier, honestly.
Yeah, like you're still going like +6 on a 7 dot power, which is completely fine.
Yeah. All right, and we move to Congo. This feels like a C tier power. There's just not much you do.
I think it's B tier. I kind of like Congo. Like I don't know. You got like I think you have some room to play here. Like Portugal seems like a huge threat, but you can do a lot to curb Portugal's threat early on if you like know what you're doing. I think like usually like the way I see most Portugals open is they go to they send in the army to Rhodes and they send the other like spare unit up to Zanzibar. And then like you have this Portuguese army in a Zanzibar that doesn't really have a lot to do except to attack Azeron. So like you could like reliably bait a fight between Portugal and Azeron if this happens, which from what I've seen, most times Portugal wants to send the unit up there. So it usually happens more often than not. The other options like Portugal either bouncing Azeron, which they're already going to fight, perfect for Congo, or Portugal goes to like Burundi, which is a bit more dangerous for Congo. But then they also have this direct land border with Azeron, and if Portugal's in Burundi, Azeron is going to kill them. So you can in my opinion, you like reliably get this war to happen almost every time in your games. And then Congo was sitting in a really nice position when that war goes on because Ajuan has to work with them. There's no other choice for Ajuan. If Ajuan can't secure that alliance with Congo, then Ajuan just dies. Kind of the same deal with Por- Portugal, and then Congo has a lot of weight that they can like start to throw around in those negotiations. Like if they want to work with Ajuan, they can start pressing first. Like maybe Ajuan like to support Congo up in the north a bit against maybe Abbey a bit, and
Mhm.
then Congo can like start to make some progress there. If they want to go with Portugal, you can get Portugal to help against the Dutch like around the world a bit. Like we can Dutch that way, and I can make Congo's gains like in like the north against Dutch, pretty pretty good. Like they can start to win that area a lot faster than they might normally win. And like you can also like if you're doing this in a way that like a top player would, I think You can also get France and Portugal to fight over like Madagascar and Western Africa. These are two points of tension where Portugal and France naturally fight a lot. In Western Africa, Portugal has these two dots that France has won. Portugal is going to want to swallow up that area in most games if they're in a position to, and France is not going to be building fleets there. So Portugal can kind of crush that reliably. And Portugal and France and Madagascar, whoever's in the Sokolava is going to have a very bad time. If Portugal has that dot, then France is going to always want to attack Portugal for it, just to like kind of complete their dominance over Madagascar. And if France has it, then Portugal has these fleets on a Comoros Sea that can always just like dot France. And you see France end up in a Cape Co a lot, and then Portugal can build an army in a Delagoa. And while this army can be used to attack Congo, if you're a good player with Congo, you know how to like work this out. You say, hey, Portugal has this fleet in Mapondo. They just dropped the army in Delagoa. They're obviously going to force Cape Co, and you kind of try beta fight in that way. Like I think Congo, if you know what to negotiate for, you can reliably get your neighbors to fight each other in most games, and there's a lot of weight that you can start to throw around when that happens.
But if Congo is B tier, then Abyssinia has to be C tier because
And I
Abyssinia
think
is
Enemy
just
City is fine.
but it's
I don't
significantly
know, like
worse than everything you just described because you don't have all those power structures to play around that really work well for you. You just
I
because
would put like City like low B tier and Congo high B tier, maybe.
Congo is significantly better than Abyssinia. That's the thing. Maybe I'm convinced by some of your speech, but like I just think Congo is significantly better than Abby. Maybe high
We can
C,
drop
but
C tier based on like the lack of like neighbors they have.
there's lack
Like
of neighbors,
the
lack of
flexibility.
options. There's a lack of expansion paths. And I still kinda
Yeah,
doubt Congo's ability to actually reach the VSCC because you need to secure like this, and that is a task.
I yeah, it's rough. I managed to do it without like getting that far into West Africa way back when. Um, like you need to kill Azeron, you need to kill Portugal. Kind of do that back. The one thing I hate about Congo is that I'm talking way too much about Congo. But I have experiences on this tower. It's really hard to break Keiko in the mid game, and Congo has to break that position if they want to expand towards like those all those coastal dots in the east. And they don't break it soon. It's just really hard for Portugal or France or whoever like controls the area like build up a defensive line behind it and just make it take years to conquer that one dot. Uh, other than that, I think Congo's great.
Okay. Well, on that note, Mapuche. C tier, I think.
Yeah, yeah, Caesar's good.
It's better than
I
Guarani,
think they,
better than Aymara.
yeah, I think they used to be a lot better, but they got worse as Garani got buffed. Even though Garani's still not that great now.
Yep. I don't wanna talk about Mapuche that much, I'll be honest. You get over here, you play these 2 off each other, then either they get and then either Ayutthaya gets in, and so you also get in, or Ayutthaya does not get in, and so you get your face torn off, and you don't really have too much control over what happens.
Yeah,
South
if you
America,
are a player wanting to play Mapuche, my one note is to not go all in on the colonization game. Focus on South America first.
yes. Listen, folks, we need to say it. We need to say it. America first. I mean, it's
It just never works.
you just need you need to go in on this. I mean, I think I haven't really thought too hard about Mapuche and playing it because it just seems painful. But kinda I'd be tempted to like jump up here. No, there's no path for that, is there?
No,
There's no other.
it's terrible. Just like stab Gorani and just win. That's how you play the game.
Yeah, just bah, bah, bah. You build more units, and then you. I think you want the Malvinas first. Actually, what you kind of
You
want
definitely want to
is
get that definitely there.
yeah, you want to have like there, there, there.
Like
Then
it's
you
a
want to
year
like
two setup. Like it's a
yeah,
good one.
you want to make sure there's no fleet here so that you can just drop a fleet out here and just cause a whole lot of pain, and you just collapse on them. But even then, your position is mediocre because if you kill Guarani, you get about there, and then Portugal gets the rest, and
Yeah,
well,
you're
then
still
you also have
playing in
Portugal over
South
there. So
America, so
C tier, Ming.
D tier. Do we have to say more?
Yeah, I mean it's a sad state of affair. Better than Guarani, better than Guarani.
Yeah, fair.
I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, there is a little bit of play here. I'm not sure it's been explored too thoroughly. I know you've
Get
played it, but
so lucky to get a mean game to work. Like I've tried. I tried twice now to make mean work, and like there's always like some kind of crap that happens around you. Like there's like you need like five neighbors. No, not five. You need six neighbors as as me to all be doing what you want. And if one of them goes off the off the little script you have at all, then Ming's life it just becomes miserable. It like cascades down. It's like if one neighbor just like does something that just moved that like you didn't really expect to seeing. It's like a little can like little like can screw you over a bit. And like all the other neighbors see it, like, oh, Ming, it must be a pretty easy target to attack, and it just goes and it just cascades from that one point, and Ming just dies.
Salt has
Yeah,
PTSD
because
over
it's,
Ming. We're not going to talk about this any further. Mughals.
it's a little bit. I like
I think
Muggles.
yeah, this is decent. I think that there's if you open well on Mughals, it can be crazy. But then I think Mughals hit some kind of barriers in the mid game as they're currently constructed because your VSCC is 40. You need 40 centers to win. But like, where are you getting 40 centers? I guess you have to kill like Ming. You have to kill Ming. Well, I guess
40 is
either
crazy.
I don't know. Actually, maybe you don't kill Ming. Maybe you kill Safavids instead. I think killing Ming's a bait. I
I
revised my
mean,
opinion. I think killing Ming is a bait. I think you want to probably
yeah, I
kill
mean, what's the line on
Ayutthaya.
Ming? Like, cut Ming and then stop there and go south?
You get
Because,
like
like, if you
Chengdu. Yeah, killing Ming is a Mughal. This killing a Ming that is a power as Mughals is a bait. If Ming is dying, then take your piece, I guess,
free
and someone
lunch.
else will. But if Ming like exists, then I think they're kind of your best friend, right? Because I think you want Ayutthaya dead.
Yeah,
Um,
like,
you want to
Ming
kind of drop down
isn't going to want
here,
to go all the way to Muggles.
and Mughals, you really shouldn't go all the way to Ming. If Ming comes to you, then so be it, free dots. But otherwise, I think you kind of. I mean, maybe you want Rinpungpa, but I think you kind of want to set a border up
You don't want
like
Ring
here.
Punk Bag Borders, two cores. Ming just always going to be able to, like, control that dot.
You want kind of like
Like, yeah, you set
here.
the border.
You
Yeah,
can
that's a good border.
you can work with Ming to solidify your border, like your joint border right here, so Russia can't do any shenanigans. If Russia wants to do shenanigans against you when you and Ming are cooperating, they have to really, really commit with units coming in and down, and I don't think they will. I
Yeah.
think you kind of want to split Ayutthaya and kind of take control of the whole Bay of Bengal, and then kind of push around and down. And it's specific. I think also you get to kill Safavids in this new patch because you can get units moving this way quite easily. Um,
Yeah, Safis has such a good angle north as well that they usually won't attack Mughals in like the
mhm,
first few years. It's easy. It's easy enough to make work, I think.
yeah, I think Mughals is like high B. I don't know if it's quite A tier because just getting the
I
40
wouldn't say
centers
A.
is hard, but I think otherwise it's
Yeah,
quite good. It's better than I think it's worse than Athabasca, better than Inuit right now.
I like that.
Right.
What's
Netherlands.
next? Do we all know where Netherlands goes.
It's actually not terrible.
Would you not say D tier?
I wouldn't. No, I think D tier is quite mean to the because the potential is explosive. I mean, there are some lines that
The
people haven't
potential's
explored.
there.
So
It's a
Köln,
colonial.
so I think Köln helps a lot because you kind of want to cooperate with Austria now. And Sweden being able to go west really helps you against England because if there's an EF, you have options now. If there's an EF, you go to Austria, you go to Sweden, you say, "Hey guys, there's an EF. We need to three of us work together against this psychopath over here," and you can do it.
Even if there's an yeah, like, even with the options, England and France can kill you
Well, you
before
lose this and you lose this, but stick with
yeah.
me. I think there's an idea that people have not yet tried with regards to Netherlands. Convoy this
You think that
army
one
to Cape Coe.
hmm.
Move the fleet here,
Cape Town's
then
dangerous, though, because you're recording, like, France and Portugal, like,
yeah, very
you're
dangerous.
inviting another point of conflict
But
with those 2.
but if you can get Congo to think you're going St. Helena, if they go here, for example, let's just say candidate Congo opening, you go ba 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 and ba whatever, such that there's no fleet off the coast, and you convoy the army over. What you can do with the army here, fleet there, then you go to Congo and you say, "Hey Congo, I'm gonna move the army to Zulu and attack whoever's in Mapondo." And neat.
Yeah.
Sure thing. And then what you do is you move this up, you move the fleet from SAO to Cape Basin, you backfill a fleet from Maritsad, and I think you have a decent line. I think there are some decent, really good shot in Africa for the Netherlands that hasn't been exploited yet. I think Indonesia is a very solid position. It's very hard to lose this. Even dying Netherlands will stick on here until the very end of the game. And if
Yeah.
you're doing well, then you can really this can be really powerful for Netherlands, especially now that you can link it with Ceylon and that England has Aceh, whatever. Because this provides leverage for
England
Netherlands.
shouldn't be in ASA in most games, I think.
Well, they shouldn't, but they almost always are in current meta.
I think I think as England and Dutch, what you wanna do is you wanna trade, Madurai for, ASA 9 times out of 10, I think. England and ASA just leaves England so exposed, I think.
Yes, but the
It's very
but
difficult
that
for England to hold.
but that exposition is good for Dutch. It gives Dutch leverage, which they lacked before. I think this is at least a
True,
B
true.
tier power, honestly. I think people play it dumbly.
I
You now this
hmm.
the caveat is you have to be able to do press. If you can't do press, then it's a D tier power. But we're assuming that the people watching this video are capable of talking to other people.
I don't know. I think
Like low
maybe
B,
B tier
definitely.
is too high. I would rather place the C tier powers than I would Dutch again.
But like we put Azure on an A tier, so
Acheron's good. Acheron's, like, genuinely good, I think.
I don't I prefer the Dutch. I would rather play Netherlands than Azeron because you have this decent South
We
America
could keep
colony. I like it.
the word is decent South American colony should not exist in, this game. There's
Leverage.
never a good, South America, position. It's just not possible to have.
Fine. It's top of C. It's way better than all of these
We
powers,
could put
though.
them in, like, bottom of, like, B tier, I
It
think.
is way
I'd be
better. It
fine
is
with that.
categorically way better than Abyssinia, Austria, Mapuche, or Aymara. That's the thing. There's a gap here. This is better than these.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I agree with that.
All right. Ottomans.
I like Ottomans.
It's
Maybe
okay.
it's like the rose tinted glasses on, but I don't know. I don't think this the Ottomans is like I could hate. They gone through a lot of changes, but I don't think they're terrible.
I think it's like an A tier power, honestly.
Yeah, I
You have
like
this
A
like good
tier. There's a
central
lot of
position with a lot of neighbors, but none of
flexibility.
them can really land killing blows on you ever. So you kind of have a lot of let's see, maybe like here, a lot of staying power. I think it's very good.
Yeah, you make a lot of stuff work with them. Lots of
Yes,
options.
you have many options. A lot of them work. The only way you die is by being surrounded and ganged up on. But if you're surrounded and ganged up on, any power's going to die in that situation. So no reason to downgrade it for that. And on we go. Poland. I think Poland. I like Poland. It's quite good.
Yeah. How would you rate them with the new changes though?
I think they have a bit more flexibility, really. In previous patch, so in preparation for the Optimate Cup, I had spent maybe like an hour just thinking about Poland and what Poland could do. And in basically every single iteration of my thoughts about Poland, number one of all my lines of thought was, okay, but we have to kill Sweden, which means if you want to kill Sweden, you have to make sure Russia's on side. And that really limits your
Yeah,
flexibility to do anything. Where in this new patch, I don't think you have to kill Sweden to win, actually. I mean, it's still it's still dots, and obviously it's a good
you
idea.
don't have to kill
But like
Sweden to win, but Sweden probably still has to kill you to win.
maybe. But Sweden doesn't really have a line for a while. And you have this kind
True.
of interesting line on like Austria that you can run at this point. Like I pointed out, again with the Austria thing, where if you do this really aggro attack on Austria, you can sack a build or two, but you really get in there, and I think Austria could just be killed on the spot. You
Yeah,
have good leverage against Ottomans, where if Ottomans get coalitioned, you can kind of get down into Constantinople. If you core Ochakiv, you can kind of dominate the Black Sea in the long term. It's pretty good. And I think when Poland and Russia fight, Poland will win these days because Poland can put a fleet in the Gulf of Riga and exert power from there all the way out. And I think it's just very good. Um, Colonially, these colonies are small but well positioned. Where if you're smart, you build your colonies correctly. I mean, you see Poland take over this area and this area quite often. I think.
yeah, like you're playing games where those colonies survive and do quite well for themselves, and even if not, like you use them as fuel for like your main position, and have Europe just go crazy, and like that works pretty well for Spawn as well. You do have to get to like 42 dots in that case, but it's still a valid way to play Poland, and it's shown to be quite good as well. I don't know, A tier for this. What do you think?
That's my suggestion.
You say S tier?
I think it's an S tier. There are not many powers in this game that are an S tier, but I think Poland, in its current state, should be an S tier.
Hmm. Yeah, honestly, I can kind of see it.
I think it's
You
just
can
really
go
good.
S tier.
Really, really good. Um, so Portugal.
Eh, um,
I think it's like at least A.
I think it's a better version of Dutch.
That's a good way of putting it. I mean, it's a better version of Dutch in all the minor colonies, but the major colony is worse. The Brazil colony is significantly worse than the Southeast Asia colony, but the combination of the like Portuguese West Africa is better than Dutch West Africa. Portuguese East Africa is, I guess, how do you
Good.
group the colony? Yeah, like I think Macau
I
Macau
would
is better than
honestly
Formosa.
consider Portugal's like South Africa colony the major one, and just forget about their South American position. 'Cause, like this colony, it never
Oh
dies
yeah, I guess
really,
these
but
two
it
are
just
just
like
equal.
sits on 6 dots and just does nothing
It only does anything if you
from
like really reinforce it from overseas, and that takes a while.
there. Yeah,
So yeah, and I guess the East Africa colony is I think marginally worse than the Indonesia colony, but I think India is better than the American colonies. Muscat's better than like Ceylon. Macau is better than Formosa. So yeah, I think I buy it. I buy it. And the homeland is way
yeah,
more secure, and you have way more options with it.
yeah. I only have like the one neighbor to really
It's
worry
like,
about.
I mean, I think it's either top of A. I don't think it's S tier, not quite. I
I
mean,
would say A tier.
it's too vulnerable
Yeah,
really to be S tier quite, but
they're
it's
playing games where Portugal just gets coalition and dies. It's so spread out and has so many one dot colonies that can just get killed in like the first two years. But A
yeah.
tier makes sense.
Right. Well, Ching.
Thank
Um, bless you.
you.
Ching's in a pretty good spot right now. Quite powerful. Um, you kind of just get to go wherever you like off the bat. Ming is so
Yeah.
Ming it is such a power that is in such a spot that they're not going to oppose you, and also you don't really want to fight them early on because you don't get much out of this other than pain.
Yeah,
I think
Ching is not gonna want to fight Ming most
Qing is
games,
just the
and Ming is still
natural
want to fight.
dominator of this whole region, given enough time, and it really is good at that.
Yeah, like if you can get rid of Russia quickly, there's not a great counter to Qing that really exists. Ming is pulled in so many directions that they'll usually just leave Qing alone. And nobody else really has the armies to really stop Qing. So if you can like sideline Russia early or work with them, then Qing's in a really good spot going
And
forward.
even if you fight Russia, you often win, just because they're getting
Yeah,
attacked in the
only two
west.
dots.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think it's at least very close to S tier. It might be S tier itself.
I would say A tier, but like high A tier.
Like, probably, let's see, if we reorder A tier, maybe this, like, Portugal's better than France, Ayutthaya is better than Portugal, Qing's better than Ayutthaya, I think.
I like that. Yeah, makes sense.
Alright, Russia. Feels like a C tier power.
Uh,
It's just Poland, but worse.
Definitely worse than Poland. I don't know.
Significantly
It's
worse.
either
I don't know.
C
Hmm.
or D tier for me.
Maybe it's kinda like
Maybe,
Ottomans, but worse.
yeah, maybe D tier is too harsh.
I think
Like everyone knows the problems with the Russia.
it's better than South America, for certain.
Yeah, that's fair. I would play Russian before I would play anyone in South America.
Right, so Safavids.
I like them a lot. I would say A tier, which is how well positioned they are. Like, how did you take this power out without like there's no great way for your neighbors to really like go about this, bar every single power around them immediately
If Mughals
closing them,
and
which is true for any
I
power.
disagree. Mughals and Portugal together can murder this power. Now,
What is Portugal going to do? Like, South Africa can just immediately kill this colony that Portugal has here, and there's nothing Portugal can really do about it.
well, what you tend, yeah, I guess at this point, if you get this opening, then yes, it's just death. Unless you get lucky
Yeah.
with this guess. But essentially, if you get the fleet here, what can happen is, like, in year 3, there's a good line, because if you build a fleet here as Mughals and you have armies like in Delhi, Kabul, and Yarkand, you
Mhm.
can, like, drop them out and you really get this, like, killer. Because when Portugal cooperates here, moves their fleets up, what you end up with
This Portuguese
is,
position just isn't going to be a thing. South is just going to immediately kill it.
it isn't a lot
But
of games.
Beagles
If
can be a
Safavids
big threat.
it's Safavids, to get that kill, do have to sack a bit of their ability to really get one of Ottomans or Russia to
They
help them.
can still double and kill Portugal is
Well, you
the thing.
you can double, but if you open like this, then what will happen is you'll jump up here and you, like, jump around here, and you end up in a spot where, let's see, like, don't do that
Yeah,
actually.
like Durban's put.
Where
Uh,
Derbent is open, right? And
it's true for Ottomans in
I
Russia.
think as Safavids, when you hard commit to insta kill Portugal, you are really making it tempting for the Ottomans to attack you in year 2, because the Ottomans can put an army in Riyadh, they can put
Mhm.
Portugal up to Rustak, Portugal can put them to Keshem, they can put, like, a fleet in Baghdad if they really want to put one out into Persian Gulf, and I think Safavids is very vulnerable to this type of attack if Portugal is not handled delicately early on. So that's why I think that there's this decent line if Mughals and Portugal work together against Safavids. I also think that Safavids' expansion paths are kind of limited in a lot of scenarios. You don't really get west in if the players you're fighting are competent. You don't get further west than this. Like, that's it. Um, and getting south takes a while. You have to build a lot of fleets. You have to hope that Mughals isn't big. If Mughals is a juggernaut, then you're just stopped, like, here, dead.
Yeah.
I don't
Like
think
yeah,
it's,
like a lot of Safavids like get the expansion north and they kill Russia and then just kind of don't do anything from there because it's just so hard to expand east and west versus like people that are able to defend
yeah.
themselves.
And in order to kill Russia, you build a bunch of armies, and you don't get enough dots to compensate and build the new fleets that you need to really expand.
Yeah, and
Um,
and if you're forced to like the Caspian Sea fleet build, it's just like a build that just does a unit that just sits there and does nothing for you the whole game once you're done.
yeah. So that's why I apparently would open Windows. I think it's
I
probably
would
in
put
B
it at
tier
B
somewhere.
tier.
Let's
I
see.
like B tier.
I like them less than Athapaska and Mughals, but more than Inuit and Dutch, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I like that.
Right. Well, Spain. What do we think about Spain?
A tier, probably.
At least.
I don't think they're an Esther colonial. I think England's the only Esther colonial, unless we're counting Poland, just like a minor colonial. Um, I like Spain just because it has a tendency to like bite off more than it can really chew. Their colonies look really good until you take a bit of a closer look. Like North America is probably the most like egregious example where like you like kind of need to war with a Ute, but it's usually really hard to do that very well. You get these armies, you have their own armies, and then like it's hard to like really finish them off from there. Just like due to like the geography around it, like you get into Sonora, like you had like so many other uh, spaces on the other side of that. Really difficult to get going. South America, you have like a similar issue where you need to either fight Aymara or like fight or just like push hard to the east. And both those options suck in their own ways. Like they're just hard to really get going.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, they're like you have to use like three moves from your cores, like push eastwards. And Aymara, like you only really have like the one dot front with them, so it's hard to hard to like amass enough units to really get a push going. In Europe, you have the Med, and you can
Europe is
flood the Med with
excellent.
plenty of fleets. But the Ottomans, if they see you do that, the Ottomans will just do the exact same thing, and the same thing happens. Where you just like have plenty of units to fight the war, but not enough units to really like end it. And Spain just kind of like flounders around.
You just naturally kind of
Uh,
take like this line at least, which is pretty
yeah,
good.
like you lose Naples, you gain Tunis, and then it's hard to push out from there. That's being said, like you can still like there are it's a color. There are plenty of
It's
ways to
Salt
get
has gone
Spain
over you went over a lot of the negatives, but the fact is that that applies in some of the other directions, and the positions are extremely resilient. Like, you can be
going. Yeah,
coalitioned by a bunch of your neighbors and just hold on until the coalition falls apart under its own weight, and I think that's really valuable in a game with as many players as this.
yeah. Like if you want to play colonial and just not die, then Spain is the one to go with.
Yeah. Probably, let's see. I think it's better than
I
France,
would
but worse
say
than
better than
Portugal.
France. Yeah, I like that. Sweden's a good one.
Sweden, I think this Sweden's at least C tier. You have way more options. You can go south way easier with Gothenburg. Um, you get Abo pretty naturally, right? And that's pretty good.
Well, yeah. The notable thing in the East, at least, is like Abo, Narva, and Riga now. Like, there's no reason to fight over these dots year one now that we've seen before. Everyone can get their own little chunk of it, and I like used to see like Sweden, Poland, and Russia would have to like declare who they're going to work with the whole game in the first year alone over this like so like two dots here and like three different powers.
You can
Like
pocket
someone's going to
Christiania now
lose.
as well, by the way. You can do like this kind of thing,
Yeah,
and no one can contest you for Kiel in year one
and like
anymore.
England's going to be pretty happy with you if you do that too.
Yes. And then you have some decent line. I, I, I think the Sweden is quite good at
I
this
would
point,
say B
actually.
tier. I would say B tier. I like B tier for them.
Let's see.
I would
Uh,
play Sweden before I played Athabasca, I think.
yeah, I think that's a good descriptor. Okay, so Tokugawa.
S tier, I think. Like Tokugawa is like the
It's just so
only
powerful.
four dot power that like consistently solos games, or at least like wins them.
Yeah,
It's just so good.
the power
It's like
has been
who
explained a
attacks
lot in
you?
previous videos, but you just naturally get a core of power right here. You extend it to North Pacific, and then you just take down whoever you choose. Ming, you typically have your choice of who to work with between Ming and Shing, just because you're such a valuable partner for both of them. and you win. Typically, I think you work with Ming and kill Ching. Um,
It's
and
really fun because you can bully Ching into not building fleets. Like, you can go to Ching and say, "Oh, don't build a fleet, or that's an immediate act of war, and I have to, like, immediately just, like, go after your entire position." And, like, that's believable because that's Qing building a fleet is kind of like an act of
yes,
I can't trust Tokugawa. At the same time, like if Qing never built a fleet, it's just so easy for Tokugawa just instantly kill them whenever they want to.
yes. If yeah, Tokugawa is very secure unless they get attacked by a coalition. Um, the security is really big, and the expansion paths are very natural. Um, you just kind of naturally get to set up off of Ming's coastline and then hit them whenever you like. You naturally set up off of Qing's coastline, hit them wherever you like. You can kind of blackmail Inuit into working with you, or you can kill them.
Yes,
It's your choice,
anyone
DM's
will want to
choice.
hit Qing usually before they want to hit you, so you make that work.
Yeah, although I don't think Inuit
Russia,
naturally should be doing this type of thing, but a lot of them get baited into it.
Russia's a really good natural ally who will want to hit every power that you want to hit.
But
Like,
will
you
be
usually get an alliance going there.
completely overpowered once you get even close to them. Like because they get to like Nivix and they hold it for a year, and then Tokugawa's convoying more armies over. Oh, and you just lose
Yeah,
it all.
yeah, it's just such a good power. You can like separate, you can divide and conquer this area really fast if you set your mind to it. Really.
Yes, there is a reason Tokugawa was the power used to solo the Pumpkin Cup.
Yep,
All right,
and
well,
many other games.
yes, Uchish.
They're okay.
Mm,
What do you think?
I feel like they're about C right now. I'd rather play Atha or Inuit over them because the expansion route south is quite slow and grinding. East is going to be harder now. Like Oot used to end up in Ojibwe, but won't anymore. Like basically ever, unless you're fighting at the Pascha. Alutes to get that leverage on Inuit is not really an option if you want to work with them because it's a core of theirs and they will want it for that reason. Um, and so I think it's just a little bit worse in several ways.
I generally agree. The one major advantage they got is that they can now, like they used to go like consistently +4, right? They consistently go
Mm,
+5 now because they have a new
yeah.
Coactil island.
Yes. Good point,
So
actually.
yeah, there's an extra fleet there. It's like they do get the +5 now in year one, but it's still not that great of a setup. Like you maybe stop at the for chill coding easier, but it's just like it's still not super great for them because Ash just has like 8 armies, and then
Yeah.
like what do you do?
Well, I'll tell you what I do. I'd rather play that than Abyssinia or Austria.
I would play Abyssinia first. That's probably just a me thing. I think they're generally better. Yeah.
I don't agree. I think Oot you just
Fair.
but Oot just has way more flexibility. Like the neighbors, our problem is the same in the expansion paths are kind of the same, but you have more choices about how to do it. You have better opportunities. Like if Spain is weak and you can manipulate them into not building, then you have some good lines to go down there. And I think it's going to be easier in this patch to at least set Inuit and Athabasca against each other than it was previously. Like against each other in a fight that you can kind of manipulate, as opposed to before where the natural move was to just crush Athabasca. But then you have this really
Yeah.
overpowerful Inuit that you can't really ever kill. And even if you work with Atha in the previous patch, you couldn't ever really kill Inuit either because you couldn't pressure Arctic. But now you can. Maybe it's a B tier power, honestly. It might be like better than Dutch.
Yeah, hmm. It's hard to expand between Athabasca, Spain, and France all coming at you. Like Inuit might be their best attack angle. Um, I don't know. It's hard to like see a good line when I'm looking at this map or like where you goes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Let's see. Okay, well, that's
I
the tier
would play
list.
them before Dutch though, but I can't rate Dutch lower than B
Yeah,
tier
Dutch
for
are just better.
colonialness. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so now we got to reorganize the tiers we put everything in to see if this is approximately correct. Um, I think
Um,
I think Ottomans are a gap above Acheron personally,
I like Acheron. I think Acheron's fun. Maybe I'm biased. I'm playing them now, but I think they're fun.
but like Ottomans are just clearly better in several key ways, right? You have more expansion
Yeah.
pads, you have more flexibility, you have more
Do you have any
survivability.
other smaller powers in A tier? I guess it's
Ching,
Shinigami.
Ayutthaya.
But like those are really good positions. I guess you can move them to B tier, but like
Like I
above
just
Congo.
well, yeah, above Congo for sure. I just think that the gap between Ottomans and Aju is bigger than between Aju and Kong.
Yeah. I think the B tier organization is fine. Maybe Inuit can be moved up a bit within the tier. I'm not. Other than that, it's
But
okay.
above Safavids, I think, but not Mughals. If I can
Y- Yeah, if you can, yeah, there we go.
left to right.
Um, C tier might have some arguments made. God, all these powers are like terrible. It's like if
Yeah,
except for you, like you is clearly like the best power here within the tier. Like everything else,
I think Imara goes here.
Abyssinia, yeah, Abyssinia I like. Um, like I'm like the only person that likes them. So, um, the Austria, Russia, and Mabuchi are all bad. Like it's hard to say which one's better. You know, like which one would you rather play?
I'd actually rather play Russia and then Austria, then Mapuche. Because at least
I would
Russia,
probably
you
rather play
have like options.
yeah. I think I'd rather play Mapuche before Austria
Really?
though.
You, what
I
I
like the new pre-course Austria has, like the fact that like Poland is so strong now.
Yeah, but, like, at least with Poland, you can like, other people can attack them for you and, like, get anywhere. Where, like, Mapuche, Guarani, sure, Aymara and Portugal can attack Guarani, but even if they do, it's not gonna help you that much because their Guarani will still have half of their units on your border.
You can get like Spain and Portugal to like work for you in South America, kind of.
Yeah, but it doesn't really help.
No, it is South America where nothing happens.
Yeah. I would way rather
Yeah,
play
yeah, we
Austria.
can, yeah, yeah. Austria, I like the new course they have. That probably pushes them up there. Um, I D tier. I would play Ming before I played in South America.
I
Let's
think I
put
would
those two powers.
I think I would play Ming before I played in South America, but I'm not sure Ming is better than Aymara.
No, like there's all terrible, but South America's just like a different kind of terrible, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Um, any other final thoughts you have?
I don't think so. I mean, it's kind of annoying that, like, we can't symmetrize this, right?
Yeah,
But
and we
that's the
could
beauty
move
of
Dutch
things.
down. It'd be funny.
But
Oh.
but Dutch, I mean, I think I'd rather move Safavids down the Dutch.
Yeah, I think Savvy's belong in B though.
Yeah, they belong here. I think this is a good order.
Yeah, I like this.
Right. Well, there we go. I'd like to thank everybody for enjoying us talking about imperial diplomacy powers for an hour and 18 minutes. And it was a bit
Yep.
rambling. It's late. Um,
It's a tier list video, just what we do.
these things just happen.
Yep. If you've seen any other Imperial Policy tier list, ours is the objectively correct one. Anyone that says anything different is just wrong. So
Correct.
ignore all the other ones. This one is the correct one.
This is the official imperial diplomacy tier list. And if someone else says theirs is better, then I'm putting whatever they have an S tier, we'll put in D tier right away and adjust it
Yeah.
correctly.
Yep. They are lying to you. So just ignore them.
And on that note, we're out.